distract me from the weight. Oh, never know. What's up, everyone? This is Sid Sriram. I'm here with PopShift, giving you the context behind the lyrics to my song, Do the Dance. I connected with the producer that's from Minneapolis. His name is Ryan Olson, and we randomly connected on Instagram. He was like, yo, come out to Minneapolis. I wanna show you what we're doing over here. Pulled up, ended up spending 3 days with a group of 6 or 7 of us. Just no ego, no nothing, just in a room making music. We made 30 song ideas over those 3 days, and that changed the trajectory of my life. I was kind of almost ready to kind of give up on my English language stuff. I have such a great thing, such an illustrious career in India, so I didn't really have to do this. But then also there was this deep creative need to get back to the creation of my own music, to pen down my own thoughts in a way that I could really articulate myself and express these things that I felt within myself. So that trip changed my life. I made an album that felt like it really was a deeply accurate and poignant expression of who I was. For the first time, I felt like I made a project, whichever way you shine a light on it, you'll see a different angle of who I am, rather than being here's Indian me and here's American me and all that. It's just no, this is just Sid Sriram. Fall lines older than sunshine, covered in gold. Still don't know how I'm getting home. Ooh. No, I'm not ready for peace yet, deep in my soul. Vices scream, no, I'm not letting go. Ooh. Still don't know how I'm getting home. That's just, the constant idea or thought question that always occurs to me is, what is home? Especially being immigrants, is home the Bay? Is home India? Especially after this last decade where I've spent a substantial amount of my time in Chennai, really grew real roots there. Growing up, I had, typical immigrant kind of relationship with the country where we'd go back, visit family, be with grandparents, do that whole thing. But once I started really living there, I felt I can claim this as my own home now. No, I'm not ready for peace yet, deep in my soul. Vices scream, no, I'm not letting go. This idea of most of the time, we are the people getting in our own way in this journey towards peace, and that, no, I'm not ready for peace yet. Vices scream, no, I'm not letting go. No, I still am drawn to chaos. I'm still drawn to the things that might set me back. And you can't really explain that. It's the most illogical thing in terms of the human psyche, but this inability to help oneself sometimes, Do the dance as we fall, never know. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Do the dance as we fall, never know. Oh. Mm-hmm. The dance being this constant idea that we're falling in a vacuum through the journey, and you never know when it's gonna end, is really that line. Nothing's normal, it never will be, it never was. Ooh. Several moments pass and fade to camouflage. Wilting under the sunlight like a corsage. Thinking about the things and all the ways they was. Ooh. This is just looking back nostalgically in memories, what's kind of everything that's happened up until this point, and the fact that those memories all kind of merge together sometime and take on the form of wherever you're at the time, very like a chameleon, take on the color, the texture, the feelings of where you're at that point in time. That line, several moments pass and fade to camouflage, was one that we wrote together. I'm normally very precious about wanting to write everything, because it's this is a cathartic exercise for me. But in the process of collaboration, lines like this pop up where something I probably might have not thought about otherwise, because we were in the room together, that came about. All the ways they was is something I would never write, just grammatically. But the homies were just like, no, that shit sounds fly. I was like, all right, we can go with it. And it's my favorite line to sing now when we do it live. Like I have this big ass smile on my face every time we do that. Ooh, ooh, green light, green eyes, I fall back. Deep down, I know that you're the only one. Only you. You know, this combination of the longing for home, the search, and also like finding beauty in all these things, I wanted to be able to take that emotion and give a human form to it. So this song is not necessarily about a girl, but there is this idea that if these things could manifest in the form of a woman I was in love with, that's what those lines are about. Every little store sells a piece of you. Everywhere I go, I'm further from the truth. Silly little games distract me from the weight. Oh, never know. This idea that wherever I pop up, I travel a whole lot, different cities around the world, and the same question, the same ideas, the same longing exists everywhere. No matter like change of scenery doesn't change the fact that this deep search is still very much present all the time. When I say every little store sells a piece of you, again, I'm kind of talking about the girl, but wherever I go, whatever store I pop up at, whatever I buy, like you're on my mind, or like I feel like there's a piece of this longing that is embedded in everything. Silly little games distract me from the weight. Again, those vices that I talked about in this first verse, those are silly little games, you know, like doing these things to distract myself from this overarching kind of question or search, just as a way not to like really kind of face up and go in the direction of finding the peace that is kind of out there. My album is titled Sidharth. That's the name my parents gave me. When I was in kindergarten, I shortened it to Sid because people were butchering the pronunciation really bad. Titling this album Sidharth was almost like a reclaiming of the name, but also reclaiming of my identity and my roots in the context of me in America. But it's an album that is definitely a journey. It's 13 songs. Each one of them feels like they represent a different aspect or component of who I am, or the way I look at the world, or the things that have really shaped who I am. It's out late summer, and I can't wait for y'all to listen to it. That's it. That's the subtext to the lyrics of my song Do the Dance, which you can stream everywhere right now. And you can find me on all socials at Sid Sriram. All love.